Your attention, please. At this time, we ask all to please be seated. Once again, at this time, we ask that everyone please be seated. Thank you. The University of Maryland is pleased to present the Senior Marshals. Ms. Mackenzie Burnett, our 2015 Commencement student speaker, is leading the procession of Senior Marshals. She is followed by Marshals Dr. Marsha Gensler-Stevens and Dr. Sherry Parks. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Golden Terps. These individuals graduated from the University of Maryland 50 years ago and have returned this morning to join the celebration. Welcome back to your alma mater, Golden Terps. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the faculty and staff. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask you to rise and please welcome the platform party for your 2015 Spring Commencement. Ladies and gentlemen, presiding over these exercises is Dr. Wallace Lowe, President of the University of Maryland.
I was waiting to hear for the voice of God, and it finally came. Good morning, and welcome to the 2015 Spring Commencement exercises of the University of Maryland. Commencement marks the start of a new chapter in the lives of our graduates. Today, we are awarding approximately 5,600 baccalaureate degrees, 1,700 master's degrees, and almost 300 doctoral degrees. This celebration ceremony is also a wistful farewell, spoken with words of endearment by the university to our graduates and by our graduates to their alma mater, Latin for Mother Who Nourishes. We will begin with a moment of reflection delivered by Rabbi Eli Bachman of the Chabad Jewish Student Center. His remarks will be followed by the singing of the national anthem, led by Professor Linda Mabs of our acclaimed School of Music, and by the University of Maryland Wind Ensemble, conducted by Professor Raymond Sparks. Please remain standing for the moment of reflection and for our national anthem. Rabbi Bachman.
Let us begin by opening this momentous occasion with a few words of introspection. Gratitude, appreciation, reflection. These are some of the sentiments and expressions we are feeling here today. Gratitude to a higher power who has created us, sustained us, and allowed us to reach this great moment in our lives. Gratitude to the University of Maryland, its faculty, staff, administration, who have imparted us with the knowledge and wisdom needed to reach this day. Appreciation, the family and friends who have supported, assisted us, and who stood by our sides throughout all these years during which we studied and worked to reach this milestone. Reflection on who we were just 4 more short years ago and on who we are today, on how we have changed, grown, matured as we studied, made friends, and learned so much about ourselves and our world. We have become better people, and we will continue to become even better as we go out and become part of the world around us. Please join me for a moment of reflection. Together, let us take our newfound knowledge and make a difference in the world. For knowledge without good deeds, without actions for others, is like a tree which bears no fruit. In a world filled with selfies, today, let us dedicate ourselves to being selfless as well. May we soon usher in an era of goodness and kindness to all, an era of peace and harmony for the entire world. Oseh shalom b'imromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the one who makes peace on high make peace below, peace upon all of us, and let us say, Amen.
Make sure it works.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous flight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets wriggling, the mouths bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free? Home of the Go Terps! Woo!
Please be seated. Thank you, Rabbi Backman, for your thoughtful words of reflection. And thank you, Professor Mabs, for your energetic and inspired rendition of the national anthem. You have a heavenly voice. And of course, thank you, the University of Maryland Wind Ensemble. We have seated on the first few rows here some graduating seniors who are serving as marshals this morning. They are outstanding students who were nominated by their various colleges and then selected on the basis of both academic accomplishments and contributions to campus life and leadership on campus. Would the student marshals please stand so we can thank you for your service? Thank you. And as I was having lunch with them yesterday or 2 days ago, one of them said to me, Dean, I think it's her name, she was so excited to be in Xfinity with 18,000 people, except she didn't call them 18,000 people, she said 18,000 paparazzi. All the parents and friends and relatives who are here with their cameras. I also want to thank the faculty, the emeriti faculty, the faculty marshals, and the staff who are here at this commencement. Would you please stand and be recognized? Thank you. You know, in the old country, they say that if you want 1 year of prosperity, grow rice. If you want 10 years of prosperity, grow trees. If you want 100 years of prosperity, grow people. It is the high calling of the faculty and staff of this university to grow people, our students, to encourage them and support them in their learning, to work with them in the discovery of new knowledge and transmitting that knowledge to the next generation and applying that knowledge through innovation and action-oriented research to improve the human condition. This university is only as good, not only by the quality of its students, but the commitment and the excellence of our faculty and staff. So when people ask me, especially in the business world, well, so what business are you in? I like to say, we are in the immortality business. Because what we as educators do is to transform people's lives so that they become productive citizens and responsible citizens of this democracy, and they go forward and they influence their children and their children's children. The impact of educators and all the staff who support the work of education stretches into eternity. We are in the immortality business. And I also want to recognize a very special group of alumni today who are seated in the first two rows, the class of 1965. Please stand. Thank you for coming back to your alma mater. Thank you for your loyalty and support. And I find this an incredibly poignant moment. Here we have in Xfinity Center 2 generations of Terps, spanning half a century of history, coming together to share this moment of time in their alma mater. Every generation has a rendezvous with destiny. Every generation has an opportunity for greatness. And here we have the class of 1965 and the class of 2015. And if you listen carefully, I think you will hear generational echoes over the past 50 years. In 1965, this country enacted perhaps the most important piece of civil rights legislation, the Voting Rights Act of 1965. And 50 years later, an African American sits in the White House. We have come a long way. But in 1965, you will recall, there was Bloody Sunday in Selma, Alabama, when the police beat and shot peaceful civil rights marchers. Today, 2015, we have Ferguson, Missouri, and other cities in between. We still have a long ways to go to live up to the ideals of our nation. So to the class of 2015, as you look at the class of 1965, I want you to think that 50 years from now, when you are back on this campus and you meet the class of 2065, what legacy will your generation leave for the class of 2065 as the class of 1965 has left for you? The torch has passed. The cause endures. We are building a more perfect union, and that dream shall never die. As I was getting ready for commencement, I remembered the wise words of a friend, an Irish priest, who reminded me, thinking about commencement speakers, that a speaker at commencement is like the body at an old-fashioned Irish wake. They need the body to have a party, but nobody expects it to say very much. So we will follow that advice today, myself included. But I want to assure you that although the words spoken from this stage may be immortal, the speeches will not be eternal. After all, you're here to receive a diploma. That's the reward you get for staying in school. So therefore, sitting at a long commencement exercise should not be the punishment for staying in school. Our first speaker, representing the Board of Regents of the University System of Maryland, is Gary Atman. He's a TERP. He's a graduate of this university. He's currently the president of Future Healthcare and Management Corporation. And he will bring greetings to our graduates from the Board of Regents. Gary?
President Lowe, distinguished guests, faculty and staff, family, friends, and most of all, our wonderful graduates of the class of 2015. Yeah. I am honored to be with you today to offer congratulations on behalf of the University System of Maryland Board of Regents. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with us, the Board of Regents is appointed by the governor to oversee the affairs of the 12 universities and research institutions that together comprise the University System of Maryland. And of course, out of all of those campuses, the University of Maryland at College Park is the centerpiece, the flagship institution. Over the past several years, working with partnership with our university leadership, as well as the governor and the legislature, our Board of Regents has invested in an extraordinary number of capital projects and academic programs that have and will continue to keep higher education excellent, accessible, and affordable here at our flagship and throughout our campuses in Maryland. Now, in order to have a great university, it is necessary to have great leadership. And on this campus, we are very fortunate to have as our leader Dr. Wallace Lowe. Wallace, you are truly one of America's outstanding university presidents. In just a few short years, you have done so much, from leading us into the Big Ten, where we did very well, I might add, to transforming our university into a flourishing garden of innovation, discovery, and accomplishment. And the best is yet to come. On behalf of the Board of Regents and everyone here, Wallace, I'd like to thank you for all that you do. With you at the helm, our future is very bright indeed. Let's give Dr. Lowe a round of applause. I would also like to acknowledge another very important leader of the University System of Maryland who is here today. Each year, the governor of Maryland selects one student out of approximately 167,000 students to become a full voting member of the Board of Regents. These student regents are truly the cream of the crop. And this year, our student regent was truly outstanding. She was always well prepared, brilliant, and a tenacious, or shall I say, fearless advocate for our students. She is also a TERP and a member of this year's graduating class at College Park. Her name is Rahila Ahmed. And Rahila, will you please stand so we can recognize you? She's awesome. Dear graduates, as Dr. Lowe said, just like each of you, I'm a TERP, having graduated more than 35 years ago. Now, please note how I referred to myself. I didn't say I was a TERP, but that I am one. And I can tell you with all sincerity that decades after graduating, I feel as fervent a connection with the University of Maryland as I did when I was a student. Whenever I see our beautiful campus and so many bright young students wearing Maryland t-shirts and other garb, my heart swells with pride and respect, because most of my classmates would never have been able to get into Maryland under today's high standards. So I'd like to congratulate you not only on getting in, but on completing your rigorous courses of study. Your degree from Maryland will be an asset for your whole life, and that TERP diploma will help you get a good start in your chosen career. And after you start your career and your post-college life in earnest, I would strongly encourage each of you to do what I did. Keep and even grow your relationship with the University of Maryland. It will keep you feeling young, it will keep you relevant, and it will keep you connected with an institution that cares deeply about you and that offers a lifetime of opportunities to learn, to teach, to cheer, and to participate in unlimited ways. Once again, congratulations to all of you, and please know that the entire University System of Maryland family wishes you all the best in the years to come. Go Terps!
Thank you, Regent Atman. I would now like to introduce some of the members of the platform party who are seated behind me. I would ask that when I call your name, if you would please stand and remain standing until I have introduced everyone. And I would like to ask the audience to please withhold your applause until everyone has been introduced, because we don't want to be here until 5 o'clock. Robert Rao, member of the Board of Regents and a TERP, a graduate in civil engineering from the University of Maryland, College Park. Rahila Ahmed, our fearless student regent. Michael Schwab, a member of the University of Maryland Foundation Board of Trustees, a TERP. His wife is a TERP. He had a former son who graduated a TERP, and his son today, his second son, is in the audience from the R.H. Smith School of Business. Leonard Rayleigh, Vice Chancellor for Advancement at the University System of Maryland, and a number of our Vice Presidents. Mary Ann Rankin, Senior Vice President and Provost. She's a biologist, and her specialty is physiology and behavior. Linda Clement, Vice President for Student Affairs. She's been here for close to 30 years, probably the best Vice President for Student Affairs in the entire country. Carlo Colella, Vice President for Administration and Finance, another TERP, a civil engineer, and he's the architect of this incredible construction that's going on campus, some $800 million worth of construction, and the revitalization of College Park. Eric Denna, Vice President for Information Technology and Chief Information Officer. You think that the campus consists of all these buildings. There is an invisible campus, the virtual network that he manages, which is as large as the physical campus. Michael Potarella, Vice President of Legal Affairs and General Counsel. Oh, there you are. He's the one who keeps me and the other vice presidents out of legal trouble. In effect, the Chief Risk Management Officer. Peter Weiler, Vice President for University Relations. And Peter, congratulations on your second consecutive year of the highest fundraising ever in the history of this university. Dr. Kumeya Shorter Gooden, Assistant Vice President and Chief Diversity Officer, and a TERP too, who ensures that we have excellence as well as inclusiveness and respect for everyone. Kevin Anderson, Director of Intercollegiate Athletics. And Kevin, I congratulate you on a very successful inaugural year in the Big Ten. And let me tell you, it gives me great satisfaction to know that the Wolverines, the Nittany Lions, and the Badgers now fear the turtle. Dr. Martha Nell Smith, Professor of English, our University Marshal, and she is the nation's foremost expert in the poetry of Emily Dickinson. Patrick Ronk, who has just been re-elected to his second term as president of the Student Government Association and another fearless advocate for the interests of the students in Annapolis. David Colon Cabrera, who is representing the graduate student government, and you are completing your PhD in anthropology, is that correct? Working in the area also of public health. Nicole Pollard, another Terp, a lawyer, who's the president of the Maryland Alumni Association. Emily Eichhorst, executive director of the Maryland Alumni Association that has 320,000 members, and I hope that you will join today. Donald Webster, chair of the University Senate and senior agent at the White River Education Center. And all the university deans, who I will not identify by name because they will introduce themselves later in this program. Would you please now join me in a round of applause? You may be seated. I do want to ask 4 deans to stand up to be recognized because after many, many years of very effective and loyal service, they are stepping down from their positions this June or this July. Donna Hamilton, Dean of Undergraduate Studies. And hold your applause. Hold your applause, although it's very deserved for Donna Hamilton, who has transformed the curriculum for undergraduate education. Jenny Priest, Dean of the College of Information Studies. Cheng Yi Wei, Dean of the College of Agricultural and Natural Resources. Patricia Steele, Dean of Libraries. And in the back, Dr. Richmond Sparks, who's been director of the University of Maryland Band for 31 years. Dr. Sparks, you have truly lived up to your name because you provide the needed spark to ignite fans and the audience at Xfinity Center. Thank you all for your service. We have incredible students here. And as Regent Edmund mentioned, he said most of his classmates from his years at the University of Maryland would not be admitted if they were to apply here today. The freshman class, when you were freshmen, the median grade point average was almost a perfect A, 3.98. Your test scores were sky high. Gary, I want you to know that not only would your classmates not be admitted to the University of Maryland today, I would not be admitted to the University of Maryland today. I am simply consoled by the fact that the standards for hiring a new president are not as high as the standards for admitting freshmen to the University of Maryland. And so we are faced with this incredibly difficult task. In this sea of very talented students, we have to choose one student to be the outstanding student, the recipient of the University Medal, the highest honor that the University of Maryland can bestow to a graduate every year. We actually had 5 finalists, and one of them, of course, is the recipient. But it's not simply their academic accomplishments, it is also their character, their contributions to life outside the classroom and the laboratory, and the impact they are already having in the world. So we have 5 finalists. I'd like to introduce them very briefly. My script has this long description. I'm not going to read it. I'm going to play the role of Oprah Winfrey. And I want to just ask them to step forward and just have a conversation. Mackenzie Burnett. Get closer. So Mackenzie, I hear or I see that you got a GPA of 3.97. That's remarkable.
Thank you. Yeah, maybe not after this semester.
Oh. Well, it's a good thing that you're getting your recognition right now before you get your final grades. And what are you majoring in?
Government and politics and international relations.
And international relations. So that means you must have, what, done internships or travel abroad?
Yeah, so I studied abroad for a year, and I...
Where?
In London for the fall and Rome of the spring of my sophomore year.
And what did you do when you were, for example, in London?
I worked for the House of Parliament.
For the House of Parliament.
Yeah, the House of Commons.
And so did you work with a government agency here in Maryland or in the area?
Yeah, I worked for Senator Mikulski, and then I interned for the State Department.
Oh, wonderful. So why didn't you persuade Senator Mikulski to stay on for another 5 years? But that's another story. And where are you from?
I'm from Columbia, Maryland.
Columbia, Maryland.
Hoco! Woo!
So are your parents, Mr. and Mrs. Burnett, somewhere in this audience? If you are, please stand. There you are. Congratulations. Thank you for sharing Mackenzie with us. And Mackenzie, thank you for starting Startup Shell.
Yeah, actually, Startup Shell was founded a generation before me, but we continued it. So it's
All right. You
trying to
have
work with
enhanced
soon.
it. Thank
Right.
you so much. Our other finalist, Benjamin Kramer. Come on up, Benjamin. Good morning.
Morning.
So I read that you have a GPA of, it's going up now, 3.98.
That's right.
Will you have 3.98 at the end of the semester?
I hope.
And what are you majoring in?
Government, politics, and history.
Wow. And so I understand that you have gone or you will go to Cambridge University.
I've gone.
What was it like?
It was great. It was old.
Wow.
Not made for tall people.
Really?
Yeah.
And so what did you do at Cambridge?
I studied politics and history.
Uh-huh. Now, what other places in the world have you gone to?
I've been throughout Europe and China and all over America.
You've been to China.
Yes.
Do you speak Chinese?
Yes, and so do my brother and sister.
Oh, this is impressive. So 你能讲中文吗？
Yeah, 我说中文。
哦，很好，很好。母子上黑你。Let me tell you, his Chinese is far superior to mine. And so, what are you going to do after graduation?
I'm going to go to law school.
You're going to go to law school.
Yes.
And may I ask where?
University of Virginia. But still go Terps.
All right. Teach the Cavaliers to fear the turtle,
That's
too.
right. Thank you.
Congratulations. Sydney Perlotto. Hello, Sydney.
Hi.
And, you know, the grade point averages keep going up, and this says 3.99. Majoring in what? Get closer.
Global social change and development.
Closer and louder.
Global social change and development.
Well, global social change. So that means you also must have traveled all over the place.
Yes.
And where have you been pursuing global change?
Many places in Central America and South America.
Such as?
El Salvador, Chile, Costa Rica, Panama. Yeah.
And so what kind of social change is your passion?
I'm interested in women's rights.
Women's rights in those countries. Wonderful. And have you done internships here as well?
Yes. At different nonprofits in DC, so the National Peace Corps Association and Women's Foreign Policy Group.
Very good. And Sydney, are your parents here?
Yes.
So, Mr. and Mrs. Perlotto, are you here someplace? Would you please stand up? There they are. Thank you, Sydney.
Thank you.
And thank you for sharing Sydney with us for her college career. Our fourth finalist is Winston Liu. Hello, Winston.
Hello, how are you?
Not bad, thank you.
Thanks.
And as I say, the GPAs keep going up, and you have a perfect 4.0.
Yeah.
So what's the secret to your success?
A lot of hard work, a lot of sleepless nights, but you just get through it, I think.
What a wonderful prescription. And you majored in what?
Bioengineering.
All right. And so, do you speak any foreign languages?
I do.
Such as?
I speak Chinese and Spanish.
Ah, usted habla español también.
Claro que sí, por favor.
Ah, qué bien. Say, so are you a Latasian just like me, a Latino Asian?
I wish I could be. I wish I could be. Ojalá que sí, pero no.
Ah, y sus padres están aquí. Where are you from?
See, I'm from Potomac, Maryland, and I think my parents are sitting right over there.
Would you please stand up? So Winston, what are you going to do after graduation?
I am going to be pursuing an MD PhD.
Oh, both degrees. Wow.
Yes, I'll be in school for a very long time.
And where?
Do you really want me to tell you? I don't know if you're going to like the answer.
Oh, I know what you're going to say. Don't
I
tell
know.
me it's down there.
It's may or may not be in North Carolina, so I don't know if I want to tell you.
I can guess. No need to tell me. No, people want to hear.
I will be attending Duke University, but go Terps!
Thank you. Congratulations. I had a dream the other night, and that dream is that the Terps will face the Blue Devils in the NCAA Finals next year. And now it gives me great pleasure to introduce the recipient of the 2015 University Medal, Fan Cao. Stand on the other side. Well, you know, the grade scale only goes up to 4. And you happen to be a 4.0 as well. So, so what's your major?
Physiology and neurobiology.
Wow. And I suppose that what really also marks your career is that you have gotten 3 of the most distinguished national scholarships in the country. So would you like to share with the audience what are the 3 scholarships you have won?
I've won the Goldwater Scholarship, the Truman Scholarship, and the Banneker Key Scholarship.
There's a 4th one.
The 4th one is the Rhodes.
And what are you going to do at Oxford?
I'm doing a master's in pharmacology.
And what is your long-term career goal?
Well, I'm hoping to spend 2 years at Oxford, and I'll be attending medical school afterwards.
Don't tell me you're going to medical school at that school in the South.
No, I'm going far north to Harvard.
Good. Any place but Duke. Now, your parents are here. Mr. and Mrs. Cow, could you please stand up? There you are. Fang, you have, I understand, an amazing story. You were born in China, and you came to America via what country?
The United Kingdom,
Oh, the United Kingdom. And then you ended up where in Maryland?
Silver Spring.
Silver Spring. And what I find really remarkable is, without going to the details, he and his family overcame incredible economic hardship. And I mention that because I'm so proud that the American dream still is alive today. And Fang Kao reflects that. But it's not only about his accomplishments. Just take a few seconds to share with the group how you have already given back in terms of tutoring and other service activities.
So I run a tutoring program at a local high school in Northwestern. I don't know if there's any alumni from there, but I've met a lot of you on campus. Yeah, Northwestern High School. I also work at a local clinic, and I also did a public health research project in Mandeville, Jamaica.
Thank you, Fan, and congratulations. Wait. So you have to take off your cap? Congratulations. Thank you. So congratulations to our medalists, to all of our finalists, and of course, to the entire class of 2015. But as you can see, it is not simply about high grades. That whereas college is indeed about developing the mind, it is also about nurturing the heart and the spirit. It's applying your knowledge and your skills for the causes of service and justice and the betterment of humankind. But these are the blessings that are greatly needed in our world today. And because you have heard from these medalists, I just want to remind you of that number that I may have mentioned in your freshman year, 1 in 1,000. Only one person in 1,000 on this planet has the opportunity for a college education. So at the end of the day, remember that the blessings you have received at this university, that some measure of those are given back to the communities from which you came. That what counts is not only your knowledge and your skills, but also your values and the content of your character. Because what counts in a graduate of the University of Maryland is not only what you know, but who you become as a result of your learning. So we also have a student speaker who's elected by a committee of the senior class. Before I introduce her to speak about briefly her experiences here, I want to share with you just 2 or 3 or 4 tweets. You will recall that last week, for those of you who follow me on Twitter, and I do have 24,300 followers, the most number of followers of any president of any major public research university in the country. At President Low, for those of you who are not following. But I sent out a tweet last week asking you to capture your University of Maryland experience in 8 words or less. And I said that I would choose a few and share with them with you today. So I just want to share 3 or 4. One, from a Jason Roner. I don't know if Jason is here. All right, there you are, Jason. Here is what he tweeted about his experience here. Quote, "The greatest decision and experience of my life." Wow. And a Nate Clother. He may or may not be here, but Nate, this is what he wrote. "Oh God, I have another all-nighter to pull." But here comes Chris Little to the rescue. I don't know if Chris Little is here, but this is what he tweeted. Quote, "Just rub Testudo's nose and you'll be fine." And finally, from an organization of students who are social justice activists, this is what they wrote. Quote, "Discovered myself, made waves, empowered others." What a great spirit of the University of Maryland students. So now we have the pleasure of hearing in more than 140 characters from Mackenzie Burnett.
No. They're sorry, but it can't be done. It can't be done. They're sorry. No, you had a good run, but this thing is impossible. Well, okay, but they're not responsible. They're not responsible, but if you're unstoppable, this thing that you want with all of your heart is yours if you start. Starting is the hardest part. But you'll lift your chin and with a grin, you'll begin. You'll begin to build the world you want to live in because the world of our generation values the creator, the hacker, the doer. You are your own entrepreneur, and they will tell you that you should succumb to the allure of marching along with the beat of their drum. But you know, we know, that we are in charge of defining our own lives, and all of this is our show. My journey at the University of Maryland began dedicated to pursuing a career in foreign policy. I created my own major in international relations. I interned at a number of government agencies. I thought I was set. But now I'm finishing my journey deeply involved in technology and entrepreneurship. I found Startup Shell, a student-run startup incubator, by chance and immediately knew that I wanted to be a part of it. Everyone in that room was creating opportunities for themselves where none existed before, pursuing something new and different. Startup Shell in itself was new and different for me, and that was exciting. Most of us went through something similar. Shifts in interests or perhaps entire changes in majors, as we explored the vast resources that this campus has to offer. In my exploration, I found over and over again that I could create the opportunities that I wanted to pursue. And University of Maryland's ecosystem encouraged this creation process, from the Honors College and other living learning programs to the funding model for student organizations. I grew to appreciate the flexibility that this university provides to follow my love of foreign policy and dive into the startup world. But I didn't know why I was exploring, and I didn't really know what I was looking for. And then I read something that the seasoned entrepreneur Paul Graham once wrote. He said to aim to be at what he calls the edge of the fractal stain. That is, find the edges of your fields where new knowledge and ventures are created and own that space. By doing this, you are in the unique position of being able to identify where you can create the new solutions that extend the boundaries of your fields. And that was it. That was my aha moment. I had been looking all along for that fractal edge, that place where people were pushing past limits that had already existed. For me, it was Startup Shell, a group with a new model that empowers student companies. For you, it may be the student community of activists or artists or engineers. Look for these edges in whatever you do, because that is where the most interesting people gather and where the most exciting ideas form. Like the lost generation of the 1920s, where Gertrude Stein, T.S. Eliot, and Ernest Hemingway mingled in Paris. Like the homebrew computer club of the 1970s, where Steve Wozniak seeded the idea for Apple. There have always been these groups of fearless people who have found each other by seeking out the fractal edge. Through their own drive and through the collision of ideas that happen within these groups, they were able to shape the world around them by creating new opportunities for themselves. This idea is at the core of what it means to be entrepreneurial with our lives. Entrepreneurship is not necessarily about starting companies. It's about realizing our power to deliberately make the choices that bring us to our own fractal edges. I call this power self-agency. As graduates, we now have the enhanced ability for self-agency to not only take advantage of, but to create opportunities using what we've learned here. This is not to say that self-agency is easy. Many of us face personal, institutional, and socioeconomic barriers to realizing our potential. And I'm not going to pretend to have a solution for us, because those obstacles will be part of each of our own journeys. But no matter where we find ourselves, our education will enable us to seek out those communities of the most fascinating people that we can imagine, who gather at the fractal edges of our fields. As with anything new, other people will try to sell us on their doubts, but we will not let that prevent us from starting. We'll begin to win those small victories that will lead to our greatest accomplishments. And so I say this with confidence. In whatever we do, let us cultivate self-agency to better seek out the edge of the fractal stain. Before we leave here today, let us thank our support network. Family, friends, mentors, those individuals who will continue to support us in our journeys. University of Maryland, Class of 2015, best of luck with all of your adventures, and I'll see you at the fractal edge. Thank you.
Thank you, Mackenzie. You certainly reflect the TERP spirit, the self-agency, the can-do attitude. Thank you for incredible remarks. Now I have the pleasure of introducing Faux Pas. As they come on stage, Faux Pas is a combination, as you know, faux, French, pas, Spanish, false piece. I don't know why they're called false piece, but they are an incredible a cappella group. Just last month, they went to the finals in New York City of the International Championship of Collegiate a cappellas. They have recorded or released 7 albums, and they will perform The musical selection, I Was Here, by Diane Warren.
I was here. I lived. I loved. I was here. I wanna leave my footprints on the sands of time. Know there was something that meant something that I left behind. When I leave this world, I leave no regrets. Leave something to remember so they won't forget I was here. I lived, I loved, I was here. I did, I've done everything that I wanted, and it was more than I thought it would be. I will leave my mark so everyone will know I was here. I wanna say I lived each day until I died, and know that I learned something in somebody's life. The hearts I have touched will be the proof that I leave, that I made a difference, and this world will see I was here. I lived, I loved, I was here. I did, I've done everything that I wanted, and it was more than I thought it would be. I will leave my mark so everyone will know I was here. I lived, I loved, I was here. I did, I've done everything that I wanted, and it was more than I thought it would be. I will leave my mark so everyone will know I was here. I just want them to know that I gave my all, did my best, brought someone some happiness, left this world a little better just because I was here. Oh,
Bravo. Thank you, Fopas, for that beautiful, uplifting performance. You really enrich our cultural life. You touch us with your artistry. We are so proud of you and all of our students here. Now it's time for the presentation of our commencement speaker. The speaker is chosen by a student group of the Senior Council, and it's my privilege to invite the chair of that committee of the Student Council, Louis Chavon, to introduce our distinguished speaker.
Good morning, fellow graduates, and to the families and friends who have helped us all reach this milestone in our lives. My name is Louis Chavon, and as President Lowe said, I served on this year's Senior Council. It is a huge honor to introduce today's commencement speaker, Mr. Dominique Foxworth. We are thrilled to have Mr. Foxworth return to his alma mater and to share some thoughts with us as we enter the next chapter of our lives. Mr. Foxworth was born in Oxford, England, and moved to Maryland before he began grade school. He attended Western Tech High School in Catonsville, Maryland, so his roots in this area are strong. Mr. Foxworth graduated high school early and enrolled here at the University of Maryland in spring 2001. He graduated in 2004 with a degree in American Studies after an impressive academic and athletic career. Mr. Foxworth started every game for the Terrapins football team between 2001 and 2004, earning all conference honors 3 times at the cornerback position. Mr. Foxworth translated his success into a 7-year NFL career, and the Ravens fans in the house will remember Mr. Foxworth from his tenure with Baltimore from 2009 to 2011. Off the field, Mr. Foxworth brought and continues to bring so much more to the Maryland community. As an alumnus of the College of Arts and Humanities, Mr. Foxworth and his wife, Ashley, a 2006 alumna, helped spark the Foxworth Creative Enterprise Initiative. The initiative has helped our students and faculty collaborate to develop courses supporting advanced engagement with contemporary issues while addressing justice in all communities. We are very proud that a Terp like Mr. Foxworth has held leadership positions with the NFL and the NBA Players Associations. And we're proud that he has served as a proponent for lifelong learning and continue to use his platform to provide for others, like with his nonprofit, Baltimore Born Incorporated. Mr. Foxworth represents everything a Maryland graduate can aspire to be: dynamic, driven, and fearless. Now, Mr. Foxworth wrote in 2013 for the Huffington Post that he had not yet been invited to speak at a commencement. So Dominique, here's your shot. You know, it's only your alma mater and an audience of 18,000 people, so really no pressure. I'm pleased and honored to welcome Mr. Dominique Foxworth. Thank you.
Thanks so much for the kind words. Let me get situated. I'm pretty nervous, and that didn't help, that introduction. My wife told me not to use electronics, and now I'm in portrait mode. I need landscape. Sorry. Apologies. She told me to go with paper, as Mackenzie did, but I chose not to, and I'm paying for it. She's always right. But anyway. It's the first time I'm seeing myself in this ridiculous hat. That's not going to work, because I expect when my kids, who are 2 and 4 now, get older, I expect to be able to show them this, and I don't want to be looking at myself in that ridiculous hat. But someone, Debbie, who helped me in the back, told me I didn't look ridiculous, so we'll have a talk later. Anyway, I guess I need to get started, and bear with me with these electronics. Again, my wife told me not to, but I don't listen. So, Dr. Lowe, members of the Board of Trustees, faculty, administration, friends and family, and of course, the University of Maryland class of 2015. Good morning, and thank you for having me. It's a great honor to be here today, and it's a great challenge, too. It's a little nerve-wracking, as you can see. I'm a little nervous, and to be honest, I'm not completely comfortable. I'd be a lot more comfortable if I was running into Bird Stadium right now in front of tens of thousands of fans, screaming, full of Terrapin pride and probably full of a few other things from the tailgate. But, but I'd feel like I was at home. It'd be a lot easier for me, but this is different. This is commencement. This is in the Xfinity Center. This is different. It's kind of a big deal to me, so please forgive me. The challenge is that I don't see myself as the usual commencement speaker, and I can't even imagine myself giving a conventional commencement speech. I read a few articles in preparation for this, and many of them said the first thing I should do is establish why I'm worth listening to. And to be honest with you, I don't know that I agree with that. So I won't. When I sat where you sit in the spring of 2004, our commencement speaker was a cabinet secretary. That was about 11 years ago, and that's not me. I'm not a 60-year-old who's had a life well lived and can tell you what to do. I'm not a CEO or a politician. I don't have it all figured out. I'm actually a lot closer to being you guys than being them. It would be great to stand up here in full regalia. Well, not full regalia anymore, sorry about that. It'd be great to stand up here in full regalia and deliver a rousing speech, not just a rousing speech, but a transcendent one. The speech that doesn't only make you want to stand up and applaud, but makes you want to march and makes you want to rethink the trajectory of your life. But let's face facts. I'm sure it was a really good speech, but I don't remember what the cabinet secretary said or what lessons he tried to impart. So while this is an honor I will not forget, I can't imagine or I can't expect that it'll be the same for you guys. And that suits me just fine. Honors are great, but they're dangerous. It's easy to believe the hype. It's easy to accept the accolades as fact. But even if I did, I have friends, family, a wife, and kids who would keep me grounded. Having 2 young children is far more humbling than getting beat on a slant or post pattern. Well, sometimes. Among the graduates today is Tori Pagano. Her dad, Chuck, was my defensive coordinator when I played for the Baltimore Ravens. He's now the head coach of the Colts. Oh, I'll give you a second for the Ravens. I guess I would mention the other local team, but I'm not sure that I feel comfortable saying that name, so the Washington team for the fans that are out there. But again, her dad, Chuck, was my defensive coordinator when I played for the Ravens. He's now the head coach of the Colts, and he would likely say that getting beat on the post in the playoffs for a touchdown is probably a lot more humbling than having kids, but I don't know that. I might disagree. But the point is, I cannot tell you what to do or how to live your lives. If we're being completely honest, I'm up here because at one point I ran really fast and I wasn't afraid to slam my body into people much bigger than me. And to be honest, those aren't really that marketable skills that you guys want to hear about. So what can I offer you today? It's a fair question. And it goes to what I do want to say, to what I can genuinely say, to what I'm qualified to say. I can't offer life lessons. Well, I do have a couple of life lessons that I would like to share with you guys that I know that I can offer. And I'll start with, there's a reason why you're all here, and many of those reasons are people that are in your life. So please take time to say that you love them and thank you at some point today. I know it's been said before, but it can't be said enough. And that goes for me also. So I'd like to take a second to, I found them while I was here. My family, my mom and dad are up there, and I really do appreciate and love everything that you guys have done for me. And me being up here is obviously a testament to the job that you have done. And I'm really grateful. And my wife, who's always incredibly supportive, she's really the smart one in the family. She's 2 education degrees. Her undergrad degree was from here also, and she's also a lawyer with a JD. And the sacrifices that she's made career-wise and staying home with the kids to allow me to have the successes that allow me to stand up here go without saying. And by me saying the smart one, I'm not just trying to win points. Like, she actually is the smartest person that I've ever met. And the most beautiful, obviously. And again, it's not just me trying to gain points. When I was here, I remember the very first time that I met my wife, or I didn't actually meet her, I just saw her. We were in the South Campus dining hall. I was with my teammate and one of my closest friends, Steve Suter, at the time, and he'll tell you Oh, it's got some Suitor fans. I like that. He'll be happy to hear this. I'm going to cut just this piece of the speech out and send it to him. He'll appreciate it. But I do remember saying to him at the time that I would trade an aunt and 2 cousins for her. And he thought it was funny. He never forgot it. Fortunately, I didn't have to trade any family members. Well, I don't know, I would have liked to trade some family members, but I still got my wife and I got her beautiful family also who are here to support me. They're all just great parts of my life, and I really do appreciate it. And Ashley, my wife, I love you so much, and thank you for helping me prepare for this, helping me write this, helping me practice till 2 a.m. last night. Thank you so much for everything. The second lesson that I do want to share before I get to my message, and this comes from me, who's now Chief Operating Officer with the NBA Players Association. So I'm doing a lot of interviewing and looking at a lot of resumes and hiring a lot of people. And my advice to you, which I'm sure you already know, is make sure that your email address and whatever your social media avatar is very bland. You'd be surprised at the stuff that I've seen. So Buff Stud 2015 doesn't work with that comes with a picture of you and your shined up abs. I've received these things, and I'm not sure what job they thought they were applying for, but I wasn't hiring for that. And that goes for Lex with 3 X's, 69. I think that you should never have, I don't care how your name is spelled, there's a limit to only 2 X's in your email address. And unless you were born in 1969, please keep 69 out of your email address. Just one way to think about it is if your name you think would help people potentially swipe right on you, that's probably not a name that you want to send to employers, because those employers will most certainly swipe left. I'm going to get in trouble later. My wife's going to ask me why I know so much about Tinder. I have friends, not many, but I have friends who aren't married, and do exist on Tinder, so please forgive me. Again, I shouldn't have used this prompter because I'm way off, but again, my wife is always right. While I can't offer you many more life lessons, I can tell you how I've tried to live my life. I can offer what, through a lot of trial and even more error, has worked for me. I can share the things that I'm constantly working on, always trying to improve. From that, maybe you can find something interesting, something inspiring. There may even be a lesson or 2 in there. In my life, there were always challenges far greater than anything I faced on the football field. And that's what I want to talk about here today. Overcoming others' preconceived notions, and relatedly, avoiding my own instinct to prejudge, and instead being sure to appreciate the dignity in us all and to value others and their perspectives. From the very first day I stepped foot on this campus to this moment right now, I feel I've been working to overcome notions that others have of me and earn their respect. Early in high school, I attended a summer football camp here. When I began, no one expected much of me. I was small for my position, and to be honest, I was small for any position, and I came from a small school that no one had ever heard of. But I worked my butt off, and by the time camp was over, I was offered a scholarship. I graduated from high school early and arrived here at the University of Maryland in College Park in the spring of 2001, which should have been the last semester of my high school career. I was taking classes and practicing with the football team, and to be honest, I was doing very poorly at both. Even though I'd proven myself on the field enough to land a scholarship, me just being here was a surprise to many. Before high school, I remember my parents put together enough money to send me to Art Monk's football camp for a week. At the end of that week, the camp staff gave all of the players and all the campers a report card. Lots of kids got report cards that said that they would go on to have great college careers, and some even said that they had NFL potential. Mine said some nice things, but concluded with, less exciting, he'll be a fine high school football player. That proved to be true. I also did okay in class in high school. Yet, I still recall a teacher whom I respected being upset that I got a scholarship to Maryland, as she didn't think I deserved it or that I'd thrive academically. And if the opinions of the Art Monk camp staff or that teacher were all someone knew of me or believed of me, my first few weeks as a Terrapin would have confirmed it. But I wasn't only judged by those early impressions. Many people at the university, from coaches to classmates to professors, supported me and gave me a chance to prove that I could thrive as a student and as an athlete here. That support made possible what came next, a career in the NFL. Drafted by the Broncos, traded to the Falcons, signed, somebody from Denver, I love that city. I heard one woo. signed as a free agent to a 4-year deal with the Baltimore Ravens. It was a dream come true. I could see it, playing for my hometown team late in the fourth quarter. We're holding on to a slim lead. Time's running out. The game is on the line, and I intercept the ball. A possibly underinflated ball, but I intercepted it nonetheless. We win the game, and then the Super Bowl. It's a pretty nice story arc, don't you think? It turns out that preconceived notions of a career can be just as wrong as preconceived notions of people. Things don't always go as planned. Sometimes you tear your ACL. That's what happened to me, and I was never the same player. But I was as determined as ever to defy preconceived notions. I went from people assuming I could never make it as a football player to people thinking, though I might have been kind of smart for a jock, that I was still just an athlete. And that's what I found myself having to defy then. I wanted to prove myself as someone who wasn't just a football player, but someone who could offer much more. When I was in elementary school, we had a project where I had to create a self-portrait, and my parents still have it now. My portrait said that I would be in the NFL and a part-time pediatrician. It's true. Unfortunately, I didn't become a pediatrician, but I loved being a football player. But I always thought of myself as more, and luckily, I found more to do. The season I tore up my knee was also the same year my daughter Avery was born. And my wife was finishing law school, so I put all of my energies in being a full-time dad. It was also the year that the Players Union, of which I was first a rep, then executive committee, and finally executive committee member, and finally president, started negotiating with the NFL. Talk about preconceived notions. First in the NFL, and now in my role heading the day-to-day operations of the National Basketball Players Association. I've encountered more than a few who ask why athletes making millions need a union at all. I understand where that question comes from. As professional athletes, we're extremely fortunate, but we're not immune to being taken advantage of either. Workers' compensation, rights for gay athletes, protection from corrupt agents and advisors. The issues are still ones of respect and fundamental fairness. Dignity is a right for everyone, and sometimes it has to be fought for. And the power of a union, or any group for that matter, to demand those things comes from the cohesion of its members. That's something I believe, and it drove my work at the NFLPA and now with the NBPA. When injury first kept me off the field, I poured my competitiveness into my duties as a negotiator for the NFLPA. I would stay up late, in between baby feedings. I'd study aspects of the collective bargaining agreement. I'd quiz myself on general business terms so I could negotiate with the likes of Robert Kraft, Jerry Jones, and Roger Goodell. During those negotiations, I learned that I enjoyed business, and I learned something else too. Not only did I have to overcome the preconceived notions that others had about me, I had to overcome my instinct to prejudge. I had preconceived notions both about myself, my abilities, and those on the other side of the table. But they didn't reveal truths, only insecurities. I was just as smart as the owners. Before then, I thought of billionaire CEOs as geniuses. Maybe some of them are, but not all, probably not most. For the most part, they've benefited from the same mix of skill and serendipity, of luck and hard work as I have, and as many of you have. I think of my path to this stage. Had my dad not taught me about goal setting and working hard when I was 6 years old, had my mom not sent me to a different high school than my home school, I would not have made it to the University of Maryland. Had I not torn my ACL, I would not have been involved in collective bargaining. Had I not met my wife here at Maryland, I would not have had the confidence to apply to Harvard Business School. Had there not been changes at the top of the MBPA, I would not have become the Chief Operating Officer. Had none of that happened, where would I be? I don't know. I don't know where I'd be. I don't know that I would likely have had the success that makes me a suitable commencement speaker. But I do know who I'd be. I'd be the same person. Just as smart, just as hardworking, just as insightful, and just as handsome. I missed the joke. You guys laughing a little hard in the front row. The same is true of NFL and NBA owners, billionaire CEOs, even that cabinet secretary who spoke at my commencement years ago. They are all beneficiaries of luck and hard work. Yet despite that, and knowing that, we are all still prone to valuing opinions and advice based on the wrong criteria. And I'm guilty too. I don't always fight my urge to prejudge others, or to prematurely and inaccurately assess their value. I don't want to conform to the metrics of conventional society. I'd like to be measured by something more noble than money or fame, and I know that I should not measure others by such superficial things. But hey, it's hard for me not to look up at the scoreboard. But when I do, I try to remind myself that it really doesn't tell you who's winning, or better, it presents a limited, decontextualized glimpse into a brief moment, and it doesn't tell you who's really going to prevail in the end, and it doesn't speak to anything that really matters. How many passes I defended or even intercepted, or how many degrees I may accumulate, or even my title, none of that makes me any more valuable than any other person. Everyone's perspective has value, and sometimes value to you should be measured not by the number of commas in someone's salary, and not even by the number of followers that they have on the latest social media. Sorry, Dr. Lowe. I had that in there before you said what you said, but just, I'm pretty sure we can check afterwards. I have more followers than you. Fortunately, I already got my degree from here, so. When we're not prejudging people and are appreciating the dignity that is inherent in all of us, we can appreciate the value of everyone's opinion and seek to understand why their opinions are what they are. For me, though I believe that everyone inherently has equal value, and I strive, but sometimes struggle, to align my actions with that belief, I've found two groups of people's opinion to be most valuable to me. Those whose experiences and therefore opinions contrast most with mine, and those whose opinions, as a result of their experiences, are often undervalued or worse, not given the chance to be heard at all. And today, it's more important than ever that we strive for understanding. This was made clear just a few weeks ago in Baltimore. Like for many of you, Baltimore is home. It's where I grew up. As an adult, I have been involved in community efforts in the area near where Freddie Gray was arrested, and as a child, I remember shopping at Mondawmin Mall, where it seemed the riot started. I know these streets. Watching those scenes wasn't just hard for me, it was devastating. But I was also frustrated with people's reactions. Some might see the footage of the rioters and conclude those people are crazy. And some might lambast the officers who were doing a difficult job, perhaps in the only way they learned how. But many commenters really are basing their opinions on underinformed beliefs, often formed in preconceived notions of people the likes of whom they've never met. Those who believe the rioters are crazy, for example, don't seek to look past what notions one might have about seeing people desperate enough to riot in their own neighborhoods to really try to understand a person's experience. How can that lead to true resolution? We tend to see problems and solutions from our own particular angle. And if people don't agree with us, we react to their opinions by saying that they're irrational and sometimes stupid. But why should any of us believe that our angle will produce the best solution? I'm just one man. How can my experiences and perspectives be adequate? What if instead, in search of value, in search of understanding, we all ask, what would make me do that? What confluence of experiences would cause me to think or act in that way? Can I value the perspective even if I couldn't disagree more with the behavior and how they're expressing themselves? What went through the young man's mind as he and his friends burned a cop car, broke windows, and looted? What would my future prospects or life experience have had to have been for me to decide to engage in similar behavior? How would I feel if I was a young officer with a wife and kids at home trying to protect the city I too love? Many of us would have a hard time imagining ourselves taking the risk associated with those positions. But can we understand? Can we see value? Particularly in a world where some people's experiences are devalued and those same people's opinions are, at best, not provided a vehicle to be shared, and at worst, actively muffled. How can we make sure that we are hearing the weak? W.E.B. Du Bois said, "Not by guarding the weak in weakness do we gain strength, but by making weakness free and strong." That quote resonates with me. In our world, so many assign value based on letters after names and accomplishments. Well, today you guys have letters after your name, and no doubt will continue to have great accomplishments. You are strong. You have the ability to change the world. You have power. Will you share your power, although it will mean losing some of it? Will you refuse to let your prejudice prevent you from learning from and valuing those who are different from you? Will you allow yourself to hear the voiceless and listen to them and take action with them just as much as you would with the privileged? Where so many others hear them less, will you hear them more? I never lacked the confidence to speak up, but I've recently gained a higher level of confidence, the confidence to be quiet and invite others to speak up. With value comes respect. Only with empathy can we have equality, and those are all prerequisites if we are to move from apathy to action. If we are to make progress in any aspect of our lives or in society, overcoming any and all preconceived notions, rejecting the urge and pressure to prejudge, respecting and valuing everyone, especially those least like us and least heard. That's the challenge. That's my message. That's the path I try to walk. As an undersized kid from Baltimore, to University of Maryland, to the NFL, to business school, to the MBPA, and to becoming an unlikely but extremely grateful commencement speaker. So, to the University of Maryland community, and especially to the class of 2015, and especially to the class of 2013, I'm sorry, what did I say? 13? It's awful. Thank you, graduates, for what you'll all accomplish with respect and empathy, with understanding that dignity is a basic right, and with valuing others' perspectives and all that you've learned here at this great university. You're not only going into the world, you'll change it. Thank you.
Thank you again, Mr. Foxworth, for that inspiring address with your thoughtful words and stories. Now, you said that you first saw your now wife, Ashley, at the South Campus Dining Hall. That's impressive. Now, I had a really good buffalo chicken wrap there yesterday, so that counts for something, right? To help you remember this occasion being here with us today, I would like to ask President Lowe to join you so we can present you with this memento on behalf of the graduating class. Great job. Stop calling me Mr. Foxworth. Dominique.
Thank you, Dominique, for speaking from the heart, sharing your experiences and your perspectives on some of the pressing issues of our day. I too have something to give you, but I would like something in return. I would like to give you this Maryland bow tie. And in return, I would like a selfie with you. All right. Can you take it? All right, thank you. I will tweet it after commencement, and I hope you will retweet it, and so I have as many followers as you do. It is now time for us to award an honorary degree. But to set the stage for conferring this award, I would just like to share with you what I envision the University of Maryland, the metaphor I carry in my head. As you all know, that historically, this university has excelled in STEM fields: science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. However, the vision of a great comprehensive public research university is not just STEM, it is STEAM: science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. And so the metaphor I have for a great research university is a flower that has a long and sturdy stem, and at the top of that stem is a beautiful flower of the arts and culture. Science teaches us how to understand the world. Technology teaches us how to master the world. And I might throw in business that teaches us how to commercialize the world. But the arts and culture help us interpret that world in the context of our humanity. And so it is. So it is, we would like to recognize a distinguished alumna, an acclaimed artist who has enabled the University of Maryland to be not just a great STEM institution, but also a great STEAM institution. I would like to ask Clarice Smith to please come. Hold on to it. Clarice Smith is an acclaimed and prolific painter, and her work in landscapes, still life, portraits, and floral have been exhibited in major galleries in Washington, New York, London, Paris, Zurich, and Jerusalem. She is also a dedicated educator, having served for many years on the arts faculty at George Washington University. She's a strong advocate for the arts and art education, and she is a Terp, an alumna, and a philanthropist. She and her late husband, Robert H. Smith, raised a family, but they also raised cultural and learning institutions to an extraordinary level of excellence, including the University of Maryland. And she, of course, is the namesake of the building that bears her name, the Clarice Smith Performing Arts Center. The finest arts venue on any campus in the United States that houses some of the finest academic programs in the performing arts. Robert Louis Stevenson once said that you can give without loving, but you cannot love without giving. Clarice Smith and the late Robert Smith loved the arts, they loved the University of Maryland, and they gave generously to make the University of Maryland the great institution that it is today. Provost Rankin, would you please come forward and read the citation in order to formally present this award to Mrs. Smith?
Because she pursues her art with love, passion, and extraordinary grace and vigor. Because she has explored centuries-old traditions of artistic masters to learn and practice the true foundations of art, while teaching, inspiring, and supporting others. Because she personifies the ideal of lifelong learning and the pursuit of perfection with deft strokes. Clarice Smith has marked a path for students of all ages to follow. President Lowe, I present to you Clarice Ray Smith, candidate for the honorary degree of Doctor of Humane Letters.
Thank you, President Lowe and the Board of Regents, for this extraordinary honor. I am very, very grateful.
Thank you. Because this is her second doctorate, I shall hereafter call her Dr. Smith. And thank you for the shortest commencement speech today. Dr. Smith is accompanied by many, many of her friends and two family members. One daughter, Michelle Smith, who is an active member of our Foundation Board of Trustees, and a son, David Smith, who is a book publisher and collaborates with her mother in works of art. Are they here? Would they please stand to be recognized? They are here someplace. Thank you for coming. Oh, there they are. Now I call on Nicole Pollard, the President of the University of Maryland Alumni Association, to welcome our graduates into the ranks of the Alumni Association. You should know that Nicole Pollard is an attorney for the American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees. As you know, I'm also a lawyer, but I want to point out that there's a difference between she and me. She is a real lawyer. I am a public interest lawyer. It's in the public interest that I do not practice law.
Thank you, President Lowe. To the platform party, to faculty and staff, to our Golden Terps, to family and friends, and to the class of 2015. It is an honor for me to be here today on behalf of the Alumni Association's Board of Governors to welcome you, the class of 2015, into the Maryland alumni family. Beginning today and for the rest of your life, you will be part of an amazing network of individuals, 350,000 strong. Terps are fearless. We have gone on to launch hugely successful companies, make groundbreaking discoveries, and rise to the highest levels in public service. Many within our alumni network you already know, and in fact, you've actually known your entire lives. When you were young children, you smiled and laughed because it was a Terp who created the Muppets. As you entered your teens and you wanted the best sports apparel, you wore Under Armour, designed by a Terp. Every product you touch in your home kitchen cabinets bears a barcode symbol invented by a Terp. And for the last several years, you found answers to many of your questions by searching Google, co-founded by a Terp. There are 350,000 other notable Terps whose names and creations or contributions you may never know, but who are making a difference around the world. Michael Armani and David Jones met in a Maryland biology class 10 years ago. Now they're bringing advanced technology to the masses as the designers of the Micro, the first customer-friendly 3D printer. Tiffany Williams Taylor, who earned her master's in community planning at Maryland in 2008, is now executive director of Teach for America in Detroit, working to rejuvenate that city through the power of education. And Brooks Gable, who received his BA in marketing last spring, has launched JustLikeYou.org, a free and anonymous social network for people looking to talk about coming out as a sexual or gender minority. Michael, David, Tiffany, and Brooks are just a few examples of fearless University of Maryland alumni who are making a difference across the country and around the world. You are about to go out into that world to become the next notable Terp. Whether you have decided to join the workforce, obtain an advanced degree, create the next big idea, or serve our country in the armed forces, you will be a living, breathing testament of a value of a University of Maryland College Park degree. You can ensure that its value continues to appreciate by remaining engaged with Maryland and serving as mentors, volunteers, donors, advocates, and yes, big sports fans. Your relationship with the University of Maryland does not end today. It is lifelong when you become a member of the Alumni Association. The Alumni Association serves to enrich your professional and personal lives through continuous learning, career networking, recreation, and keeping you connected to all things related to the University of Maryland. As your families enter today, we provided them with a flyer identifying just a few of the benefits the Alumni Association provides for you, and information how it is you can stay connected to Maryland forever. We ask that they share that information with you, and we hope that you will take advantage of our special grad pack rates and gifts we have, especially for you, the class of 2015. You entered here today as students and will leave as alumni who will carry the proud legacy associated with being a Terrapin. Our legacy is that we are fearless, and we maintain the highest levels of excellence in everything that we do. It is now your turn to go out into the world, to take it by charge, and let everyone know that you are a Terp. Congratulations, class of 2015, and go Terps!
Thank you, Nicole, and thank you for leading the 300,000 plus membership of the Maryland Alumni Association. One of my all-time heroes is the late Supreme Court Justice Thurgood Marshall. And he once wrote, "None of us got to where we are solely by pulling ourselves up of our own bootstraps." You graduates are dedicated, accomplished, and talented. We are very proud of you. But talented and dedicated as you are, I know that you are not alone in your accomplishments. Nobody is entirely self-made. Somebody bent down. Somebody helped you put on your boots. Somebody taught you how to tie them. Somebody loved you, supported you, encouraged you, and believed in you. And because of that somebody, and because of others like that somebody, parents, relatives, friends, spouses, because of them, you are here today. So I want to choreograph this. It's in 3 stages. First, I'll go through them quickly, first, second, and third. First, I want all the parents and friends and family who are here to stand up. That's number 1. Number 2, I want the graduates to stand up and cheer them. And number 3, the band will play a salute. So number 1, please stand up. Will the graduates stand up? Play the salute. Thank you. Please be seated. I love the enthusiasm of the paparazzi. And now comes the moment you've been waiting for. And that is when the deans of your respective colleges will recognize you for the presentation of the degrees. I'm going to ask each of the deans to step forward one at a time, introduce themselves, introduce their college and their graduates, and do so, of course, with their typical decanal flair, exuberance, and rhetorical flourish as befits the graduation of 2015. And of course, I invite you, graduates, to stand up and cheer when your college is announced.
I'm Dean Chen Wei, and I'm proud to present the candidates from the College of Agriculture and Natural Resources. Please stand. These folks will work very hard to make sure the world is supplied with plenty of safe and nutritious food. And you know, with empty stomach, you cannot be a good football player. You cannot be a good administrator. They will also continue to work hard to nurture our environment and to make certain that we have sustainable natural resources. In addition, these folks will continue to work hard to improve the quality of the life of the world. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm David Cronrath, and I'm the Dean of the School of Architecture, Planning, and Preservation. It is a great honor to introduce to all of you individuals who make sublime mathematical models of reality, public policies and plans, beautiful buildings, picturesque preservations, and innovative developments for one reason, and the reason why they came to school was because they wonder why we cannot have a more beautiful world that inspires us to do our very best. Will the graduates of the School of Architecture, Planning, and Preservation please stand and be recognized?
Good morning. I'm Bonnie Thornton Dill, Professor of Women's Studies and Dean of the College of Arts and Humanities. We're very proud, Dean, because it's been an incredible commencement for our college today. Graduates of our college are global visionaries and creative problem solvers. They have the skills and talents employers seek in the 21st century. They write well, read critically, listen actively, communicate effectively, and think creatively. They are culturally aware and linguistically adept. They are world wise. And because of all of these wonderful things, 93% of last year's graduates were placed in jobs, graduate school service programs, or started their own businesses. 93% from the College of Arts and Humanities. So graduates, you have a lot to be proud of. We affectionately call the College of Arts and Humanities RHU. So if you are RHU, please stand up and cheer.
Good morning. My name is Gregory Ball, and I've had the privilege of finishing my first year as the Dean of the College of Behavioral and Social Sciences. In our college, we generate criminologists who keep you safe, geographers who teach you how to get home, economists who teach you how to spend your money, psychologists who teach you how to be happy, people from government and politics who lead you or tell you what to do, African American studies majors who have you appreciate the diversity of our country, anthropologists, sociologists who understand the complexity of our society. What is more important than that? I now call upon the 2015 graduates of the College of Behavioral and Social Sciences to rise.
I'm Alex Trianis, the proud Dean of the Robert H. Smith School of Business. Our graduates have entrepreneurial spirit. They have a global mindset. They have strategic foresight. And they know how to take apart complex business problems and put together innovative business solutions. They are the future leaders of business, many of which don't even exist today that they will start. Congratulations to the graduates of the Robert H. Smith School of Business.
Good morning. I'm Dean Jayant Banavar,
Will the candidates from the College of Computer, Mathematical, and Natural Sciences please stand? Standing in front of us are scientists who are going to change the world. They will improve human health and save lives. They will expand our understanding of our physical world, planet Earth, and our universe. And they will create the innovative technologies of the future. Congratulations, graduates.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Donna Wiseman, the Dean of the College of Education. Our graduates become educational and human development professionals who teach, supervise, administer, mentor, develop policy, conduct research about children, youth, and adults who are in our schools, colleges, and educational institutions in our community. Folks, that means that every one of you in this room has been touched and changed by people who graduate from colleges of education. So, please recognize our great graduates who are going out to do this very important and crucial work. Will you please stand?
Good morning, everyone. I am Darrell Pines, and I am the Dean of the A. James Clark School of Engineering. You would not be here, all of you, if it wasn't for these fearless engineers. You got up this morning maybe to an alarm clock that was designed by an engineer. You got on a highway that was built by a civil engineer. You came into this building, which has been built by a civil engineer. Maybe some of you flew to College Park and to the Washington region because of an aerospace engineer. So we produce the graduates that make your life better. We produce graduates that will solve the grand challenges of society. That is, bring you clean water, solve our energy efficiency problems, bring you human health, and also improve your quality of life. So please join me in recognizing the graduates from the A. James Clark School of Engineering. Congratulations.
I'm Jane Clark, and I'm the Dean of the School of Public Health. Will my graduates please stand up? The School of Public Health graduates, are you there? Yes, they're there. As all of my colleagues know, and as my mother taught me when I was a young child, without your health, where are you? We will help you. We are trained to be the epidemiologists, the community health and health promotion people, the kinesiologists, the environmental health specialists, and the healthcare industry's economists. But I want to leave you with one thought as we've been sitting here for a long time. The epidemiologists would tell us, sitting is the new smoking. It is our sedentary lifestyle that we will help you work on so that you will not have a premature death because you've been sitting too long. The wonderful graduates of the School of Public Health.
Good morning, or perhaps I should say afternoon. I'm Jenny Priest.
I am the Dean of the College of Information, Maryland's iSchool in the information capital of the world. We are the people who know how to retrieve, manage, and curate that large volume of stuff we call data that everybody needs and convert it into useful information. Every year, our college does something special, and this year I want to draw attention to one particular thing that I want our graduates to take advantage of, and also the undergraduates from other colleges. We have launched the Digital Curation and Innovation Center, in which students, faculty, and researchers are working together to investigate how the intersection of people, technology, and information can address pressing societal needs in the information age. Will all the graduates of the College of Information Studies please stand up and make a lot of noise? Congratulations to all of you, and go iSchool, and keep going and going and going. Yay!
Good afternoon. I am Lucy Dalglish, Dean of the Philip Merrill College of Journalism. Our graduates provide the truthful, thorough information you all need to live in our society. Their work enlightens you, challenges you, entertains you, and introduces you to people, issues, opinions, and cultures you've never known or even thought about. Will the graduates of Philip Merrill College of Journalism please stand up and make a lot of noise?
Hello, I am Bob Orr, the Dean of the School of Public Policy. Will the graduates of Public Policy please stand? Our school is a solutions school. Our graduates innovate public policy solutions. Our graduates are a very humble lot. They go after the small stuff: climate change, ending war, ending discrimination forever, feeding, clothing, and educating the 7 billion people that call the planet Earth home. I would like to thank my graduates for a wonderful first year as Dean, and let the world know you're in very good hands, because these people who think so small are going to take a big step to solving all those problems. Go Policy Terps!
Good morning. I'm Charles Caramello, Dean of the Graduate School. A great research and land-grant university has multiple missions. One mission is to educate outstanding undergraduates, and I congratulate all of you undergraduates today. Another mission is to create new knowledge and to apply that new knowledge, and to train the next generation of researchers, scholars, and creative artists who will produce new knowledge and apply that knowledge. Would all the students receiving doctoral degrees from anywhere on campus please rise? And would all the students receiving master's degrees please join them? Congratulations to all of you.
I'm Donna Hamilton, the Dean for Undergraduate Studies. I am very proud to be the Dean for the Individual Studies program, where brave, creative, and determined students design their own majors. These are students who insist on going a different way. This has always been a small program, although this year we have 18 students graduating, and I've been told that 12 are here. These are students who win a lot of awards, and Mackenzie Burnett is one of them. Will the students please stand up, cheer, and make more noise than anyone else has?
Good afternoon. I'm Pat Steele, Dean of Libraries, and unlike my fellow deans, I'm going to claim all of you on behalf of the libraries and the role that we play in your academic success. So I just have one request of you. If you use the libraries or know you should have, please stand up. Congratulations.
Thank you, Deans. It's great to see the energy and the enthusiasm of our graduates. And now finally, the important moment that you've been waiting for has arrived. The moment when you are officially authorized to receive your degrees. We're going to authorize the bestowal of your diplomas. But maybe for the benefit of, some of our parents and friends and others who are here, maybe I should say just one word about the meaning of these diplomas. When you were in high school and you thought that you knew everything that there was to know, that's when high school gave you a high school diploma. Then you came to college. And that's when you realized there's so much that you do not know. There's so much you need to learn. When that realization dawns upon you, that's when you earn your bachelor's degree. And if you hang around and go to graduate school, and it further occurs to you that not only you know very little, but your professors know very little, that's when we bestow upon you the PhD. After all, what is education but the progressive discovery of our own ignorance? As the poet Yeats said, education is not the filling of a pail, it's the igniting of a flame. It's igniting a passion for learning that will last a lifetime. And if we have done our jobs at the University of Maryland in educating you, you will be learners for life. I therefore now call on Provost Rankin to come forward and present the graduates, the candidates for the degrees. And as she steps up, I just want to, maybe ask, how many of you know what the provost is? Raise your hand. Oh, very few, Marianne.
Yeah.
Maybe I should give them a very brief explanation.
Uh-oh.
A provost is the chief academic officer. But you should know the provenance of that name. It occurs for the first time in the English language in Shakespeare's play Measure for Measure back in 1600s or thereabouts. And the provost was the chief guardian of a prison. Now I ask you, does Marianne Rankin look like a prison warden? But that's what she is. Go forward, Provost Rankin.
Gee, thanks, President Lowe. Inmates, are you ready? Mr. President, In accordance with the recommendation of the faculties of the schools and colleges, and in recognition of the successful completion of all degree requirements, I request that you confer upon these candidates the degrees of Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Landscape Architecture, Bachelor of Music, Bachelor of Music Education, Bachelor of Science, Master of Applied Anthropology, Master of Architecture, Master of Arts, Master of Business Administration, Master of Chemical and Life Sciences, Master of Community Planning, Master of Education, Master of Engineering, Master of Engineering and Public Policy, Master of Finance, Master of Fine Arts, Master of Health Administration, Master of Historic Preservation, Master of Information Management, Master of Journalism, Master of Landscape Architecture, Master of Library Science, Master of Music, Master of Professional Studies, Master of Public Health, Master of Public Management, Master of Public Policy, Master of Real Estate Development, Master of Science, Doctor of Audiology, Doctor of Education, Doctor of Musical Arts, and Doctor of Philosophy, as appropriate in each case. Will all candidates for all degrees please stand? Congratulations.
I am pleased to accept the recommendations of the faculty under the authority granted by the State of Maryland to the Board of Regents of the University System of Maryland, and by the authority that the Board has delegated to me as President. I am delighted to confer upon you, the candidates, the degrees as appropriate in each case. Please join me in a round of applause. Hey, there's more excitement at commencement than there is at a basketball game. Will the seniors on the platform please come to the podium and lead the graduates in this long-standing tradition?
Please join us in moving your tassels from the right to the left. On the count of three.
You may be seated. Now, to all the family and friends and relatives who are here of our graduates, I just want a show of hands, or better yet, stand up. How many of you attended the University of Maryland? All right. By my estimation, maybe 1/3. Boo! Well, what shall we do with an occasional Wolverine and others who are here? Today, we are all Terps. Today, we are all members of the University of Maryland community. So by the authority delegated to me by the Regents, I hereby confirm upon all of you who are not Terps the designation honorary Terp. In a moment, Professor Linda Mapps, Dr. Sparks, and the wind ensemble will lead us in the singing of the alma mater. The words can be found on page 5 of your commencement program, but I think it's good to practice before you actually do the singing. So I'm going to read the words with some minor changes to it, and because we're all Terps, when I raise my arm, I want you to shout Maryland so loud that the walls of Xfinity will shake. Hail, alma mater, hail to thee. Steadfast in loyalty, we stand for love for the black and gold. Deep in our hearts we hold. Singing thy praise forever throughout. Go! Please stand for the alma mater.
You'll find the words on the inside cover. Right there.
Thank you. Please be seated. So we come to the conclusion of the 2015 Spring Commencement exercises. And I will ask the audience to please remain seated until the faculty and the platform party have recessed. And I would also like to remind you that the smaller, more intimate college, school, departmental commencement exercises follow this afternoon or tomorrow, and they are in your program. And I always like these smaller exercises because, well, they're more intimate, and you get to walk across the stage and receive your diploma. Years ago, when I was in that role as a dean and I would shake people's hands, I remember that One day at an alumni event, somebody came up to me and said, "Do you remember me? You shook my hand at graduation." That was about 10 years ago or so. And he said, "Then you leaned over and you whispered something in my ear that's been the secret of success to my life." Wow. So, what did I say? Move along, move along. This is too large for you to all cross the stage, but after commencement, after the end of the program, I will be outside of Xfinity Center. Go out the front door. If you go to the left, you'll see some tents, and I'll be there for those of you who want to come. I'll be honored to shake your hand. Thank you for being here. Give you a baby turtle pin. And if you want to take a selfie or a picture, we can do that. So your graduation marks the end of a chapter in your lives and the start of a new chapter. On behalf of the faculty and the staff of the University of Maryland, I want to say thank you for being here and being our students. On average, you put in 1,560 hours in class or in labs. You have enriched our lives. We are proud of you, our graduates. Our university, our society will be a better place because of you. So I bid you farewell by quoting the immortal words of a venerable philosopher, Dr. Seuss, who wrote for children of all ages. You have brains in your head. You have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself in any direction you choose. You are on your own. You know what you know. You decide where to go. Sadly, it's true, hang-ups can happen to you. There will be times when you mix up your right foot with your left foot, when your arms get sore and your sneakers leak. But I say to you, remember, you are a Terp and you will always be a Terp. We are Terps, just a reminder for those who may have forgotten or don't know, the terrapin is a little turtle that is distinctive to Chesapeake Bay. And that turtle has a very unique characteristic. It only goes forward, it does not walk backwards. And how does that turtle move forward? By sticking its neck out, walking one step at a time. That is what I call the Terp attitude, the can-do attitude. That is moxie. That is, I love this Yiddish word, chutzpah. To be a Terp is to think big, to aim high, to take risks, to persevere, never give up, never give in, one step at a time. And that's why generations of Terps have led lives of accomplishment, success, and service. To return to Dr. Seuss, will you succeed? You will indeed, 98.75% guaranteed. I say you have already succeeded. You are a Terp. Today is your day. Your mountain is waiting, so get on your way. God bless you, and Godspeed.